Chapter 1 of The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Adam Santoni. The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran. Chapter 1. The Coming of the Ship. El-Mustafa, the Chosen and the Beloved, who was a dawn unto his own day, had waited 12 years in the city of Orphalese for his ship that was to return and bear him back to the isle of his birth. And in the 12th year, on the 7th day of Elul, the month of reaping, he climbed the hill without the city walls and looked seaward, and he beheld his ship coming with the mist. Then the gates of his heart were flung open, and his joy flew far over the sea, and he closed his eyes and prayed in the silences of his soul. But as he descended the hill, a sadness came upon him, and he thought in his heart, How shall I go in peace, and without sorrow? Nay, not without a wound in the spirit shall I leave this city. Long were the days of pain I have spent within its walls, and long were the nights of aloneness. And who can depart from his pain and his aloneness without regret? Too many fragments of the spirit have I scattered in these streets, and too many are the children of my longing that walk naked among these hills, and I cannot withdraw from them without a burden and an ache. It is not a garment I cast off this day, but a skin that I tear with my own hands. Nor is it a thought I leave behind me, but a heart made sweet with hunger and with thirst. Yet I cannot tarry longer. The sea that calls all things unto her calls me, and I must embark. For to stay, though the hours burn in the night, is to freeze and crystallize and be bound in a mold. Fain would I take it with me all that is here, but how shall I? A voice cannot carry the tongue, and the lips that gave it wings. Alone must it seek the ether, and alone, and without his nest, shall the eagle fly across the sun. Now when he reached the foot of the hill, he turned again towards the sea, and he saw his ship approaching the harbor, and upon her prow the mariners, the men of his own land. And his soul cried out to them, and he said, Sons of my ancient mother, you riders of the tides, how often have you sailed in my dreams, and now you come in my awakening, which is my deeper dream. Ready am I to go, and my eagerness with sails full set awaits the wind. Only another breath will I breathe in this still air, only another loving look cast backward. And then I shall stand among you, a seafarer among seafarers, and you, vast sea, sleepless mother, who alone are peace and freedom to the river and the stream. Only another winding will this stream make, only another murmur in this glade. And then shall I come to you, a boundless drop to a boundless ocean. And as he walked, he saw from afar men and women leaving their fields and their vineyards and hastening towards the city gates. And he heard their voices calling his name, and shouting from field to field, telling one another of the coming of his ship. And he said to himself, Shall the day of parting be the day of gathering? And shall it be said that my eve was in truth my dawn? And what shall I give unto him who has left his plough in mid-furrow, or to him who has stopped the wheel of his wine-press? Shall my heart become a tree heavy laden with fruit that I may gather and give unto them? And shall my desires flow like a fountain that I may fill their cups? Am I a harp that the hand of the mighty may touch me, or a flute that his breath may pass through me? A seeker of silences am I, and what treasure have I found in silences that I may dispense with confidence? If this is my day of harvest, in what fields have I sowed the seed, and in what unremembered seasons? If this indeed be the hour in which I lift up my lantern, it is not my flame that shall burn therein. Empty and dark shall I raise my lantern, and the guardian of the night shall fill it with oil, and he shall light it also. These things he said in words, but much in his heart remained unsaid, for he himself could not speak his deeper secret. And when he entered into the city, all the people came to meet him, and they were crying out to him as with one voice. And the elders of the city stood forth and said, Go not yet away from us. A noontide have you been in our twilight, and your youth has given us dreams to dream. No stranger are you among us, nor a guest, but our son and our dearly beloved. Suffer not yet our eyes to hunger for your face. And the priests and the priestesses said unto him, Let not the waves of the sea separate us now, and the years you have spent in our midst become a memory. You have walked among us a spirit, and your shadow has been a light upon our faces. Much have we loved you, but speechless was our love, and with veils has it been veiled. Yet now it cries aloud unto you, and would stand revealed before you. And ever has it been that love knows not its own depth until the hour of separation. And others came also and entreated him, but he answered them not. He only bent his head, and those who stood near saw his tears falling upon his breast. And he and the people proceeded towards the great square before the temple. And there came out of the sanctuary a woman whose name was Elmitra, and she was a seeress.
Chapter 13 of
And he
The
looked
Prophet
upon
by
her with
Khalil
exceeding
Gibran.
tenderness, for
This
it was she
LibriVox recording
who had
is in the
first
public
sought and
domain.
believed in him when he had been but a
On
day in their
laws.
city. And she hailed him,
Then a lawyer
saying,
said, But what of
Prophet
our
God,
laws,
in
master?
quest of the uttermost,
And he
long
answered,
have you searched the
You delight
distances
in
for
laying
your
down
ship,
laws,
and now
yet
your
you
ship
delight
has
more in
come,
breaking them.
and you must needs
Like
go.
children playing by the
Deep
ocean
is your
who
longing
build
for the
sand
land of
towers
your
with
memories
constancy,
and the dwelling
and then
place
destroy
of your
them with
greater
laughter.
desires. And
But
our
while
love
you build
would
your
not
sand
bind
towers,
you, nor
the ocean
our
brings
needs
more
hold
sand
you.
to the shore.
Yet this we
And when
ask
you
ere you
destroy
leave
them,
us,
the ocean
that you
laughs with
speak
you.
to us and give us
Verily,
your truth.
the ocean laughs always
And we will
with
give
the
it
innocent.
unto our children,
But
and
what of
they
those
unto
to
their
whom life is
children,
not an
and it
ocean?
shall not perish.
And man-made laws are
In
not
your
sand
aloneness
towers.
you have watched with our
But
days,
to whom life
and in
is
your
a rock,
wakefulness you have
and the
listened
law
to the
a chisel
weeping and the
with which
laughter
they
of
would
our
carve
sleep.
it in their own likeness.
Now,
What of
therefore,
the
disclose
cripple
us
who
to
hates
ourselves,
dancers?
and tell us
What
all
of the
that has
ox
been
who
shown
loves
you
his yoke
of that
and
which
deems
is
the
between
elk
birth
and deer
and
of the
death.
forest, stray and vagrant
And he
things?
answered,
What of the
People
old
of
serpent
Orphalese,
who cannot shed
of what
his
can I
skin,
speak
and
save of
calls
that
all
which is
others
even
naked
now
and
moving
shameless?
within your souls?
And of him who comes
End of
early to the
chapter
wedding
1.
feast, and when overfed and tired goes his way, saying that all feasts are violation, and all feasters
Chapter 2
lawbreakers.
of The Prophet by Khalil
What shall I
Gibran.
say of
Chapter
these,
7
save that they too
LibriVox
stand
recording
in the
is in the
sunlight,
public
but
domain.
with their backs
This
to the
LibriVox
sun
love.
recording is in the
They
public
see
domain.
only their
Then
shadows.
said Elmitra,
Onward.
their shadows
Speak to
are-
us of love.
Chapter